So right now we're speaking live and direct. I mean, I can't really hear me, but we're kind of in a shitty situation right here. I mean, the steering wheel goes to one side. I love it. Okay. Fucking turn signals don't work. High beam don't work. Horn don't work. Cracked windshield. No radio. Trim pieces falling off. CB radio. There's some custom shit right here with Sharpie. I mean, your tow haul button ain't even right there. This is your tow haul right here. Hell, you know. Hombre, that's your fucking two-step right there, son. Don't even have fucking door panels. Couldn't even roll the window down. Had to do some boo-boo shit with a Milwaukee battery to get it to go down. No, hombre, puras fallas con esta camioneta. But one good thing, it's a run and driving vehicle. Dirt cheap to do an LS swap. So we're gonna do an LS swap. A la verga. We're gonna do an LS swap on brother-in-law's truck. So I think it's an 86 C10. And it should be pretty good. We should have it done in a short amount of time that we need it. We're trying to make it for a show. Last minute to do this, but I think we can get it done. Got a little bit done. Good bit done. So I explained the inside. I just wanted to show you the outside just because it's fucking ragged out as shit. I mean, I think that Sharpie on the window, some school tape, some more Sharpie, be right back or some shit like that. It's a clapped up piece of shit, big ass dent, different tires because the guy wanted to keep those, the ones he had. I didn't even realize this until I was basically riding a whole hour on slicks. It was a little sketchy, and then I didn't even realize how bad this was. It wasn't like this whenever I left. You can kind of see that it's kind of bubbled up. So if I was to drive this maybe another 30-40 minutes or an hour, I'm pretty sure I would have had a flat. But we made it to the house. So to explain this in a little bit more detail, we're going to do an LS swap on a C10. It's a brother-in-law's. He has the small block. He wants to do something different for the show, which is within like a month or so. But this is a 2001 or 2 Tahoe, two-wheel drive-by cable, so that's going to be a little bit better. We ain't got to do drive-by-wire. So this should be pretty simple. I've seen, it's always been done, so I'm pretty sure if I stumble across something that I'm not sure about, social media, YouTube, Facebook, whatever can help me out. We're going to try to reuse as much as we can. We're going to use all this shit, just clean it up. I'm not sure if my brother-in-law wants to use the original harness. I know using the original harness, it's a little bit more hassle because there's so many things that are already configured in it, and you got to either turn them off or this and that. But I might try to convince him to do a standalone harness like I did on the OBS. I didn't really get that shit dialed in because that was my first build. And I was just stumbling and I couldn't really figure it out. But I think I have a little bit more of a general idea how to do it as far as electrical. But regardless, I'm going to see if he'll do a standalone harness. Because a standalone harness, you can just tell him the information as far as the motor. You could probably just give him the VIN number of the vehicle. And they'll search up exactly what's what it doesn't have and all this. And they'll make it to your specifications. So wire and harness, we're not sure about that, but I haven't broken nothing but the transmission neutral safety switch because it was being a pain in the ass and I just got tired of it, so I just whacked it with a screwdriver. They're always seized on there, rusted on there, or whatever. So that's the only thing that didn't really come out as it needed to. So another thing that's good, like I said about this vehicle, it's always good to do a period of 2001 to 2002 because it's a return style system. It's a drive-by cable, which is much simpler instead of doing wire. So whenever I took this out, I try to do it as quick as possible. I think I did it under 3 or 4 hours. He helped me out a little bit. So the best way to go about taking it to the engine is like if you're doing a diesel, most people do, is they lift the whole cab and leave the frame and the rolling chassis on the bottom. It's kind of the same thing I do. I just take the mounts off. I was just going to pull the motor by itself, but then I would have to deal with this on the ground. And you can see tanto pinche clay dirt that's down there. So it was a pain in the ass regardless. But I took the whole unit up together. Like I said, the things you do, I went ahead and took all this apart because I'm pretty sure we're probably going to use that radiator. I'm going to see about using that same style, the same transmission cooler. Well, the cooler's in the radiator. So we're going to try to use the same radiator. If not, we'll buy one. We're going to try to opt to do electric fans and todo ese pedo so it can just be cleaner. you unbolt it, take your core support out, jack it up on, I don't know, both sides with jacks right here. Just jacked it up on the step. Picked it up about a good foot or so, and then you just have clearance as far as up top and the bottom to slide that sucker out and pitch it out at an angle. One thing I'm gonna start doing right now, top end or accessories, so coil packs and all that. I'm not gonna take off the exhaust because I'm gonna pressure wash it and I don't want water getting into it. I'm gonna go ahead and take off the water pump. We're gonna stay, the transmission lines are gonna stay on there. I don't feel like taking them off. What I do want to do, or I do have to do, is take apart the transmission and take it out because we do have a leaker. The rear main is leaking, and I mean all this crud is still damp, it's still wet, so it's a constant issue. And plus that, I want to see exactly how the fluid is in here. I know it's a little bit dirty. I'm gonna see if I can flush it out somehow, or just put new fluid. Seals in the back seem to be pretty good. I don't think there's no leaks as far as transmission, just motor wise. So right now, take off all the accessories, like I said. Loosen the torque converter, drop the motor down, separate the transmission, get all this buttoned up. Finally got that motherfucker out. Well, I'm telling you, it was a pain in the ass. It was a pain in the ass. LS, you get, common sense, but everything's more or less easier and less complicated. But to get this little son of a bitch out, especially with these headers, it was hit on the motor mount right here, so I had to go higher. And then I actually had to tilt this bitch at a fucking 45. Quién sabe qué pinche angle it was. But we got it out. ¡Coñao! Dile WhatsApp. No, hombre, puras fallas hasta con el ayudante. Oh, sí, güey. So, finally got it out. Next thing to do is just take off all this unnecessary shit. This reservoir, I'm not sure what it's for. I think it's coolant. And then some other things. We got to take the exhaust out, clean up all this wiring. I'm going to use the majority I can out of that to supply power to the injectors with the key. I'm gonna try to do everything with the factory key. So supply power to the injectors, the crank for the starter, and then some other nonsense bullshit. So right now, and we just went ahead and took off the AC stuff. We're not gonna use it. So he's gonna do is either, I think it's something about putting license plates to cover this up, just something along that realm, or if not, we'll just get a piece of plate, mark it out to hide all this. It can just be a clean vehicle anyways. It's just a weekend. I never really had AC whenever he got it, so it ain't really gonna be a big problem. So now next thing to do is just roll it over to where the pressure washer is at, clean all this boo-boo bullshit, take the exhaust out, and then we can go ahead and start looking into, what was it, buying the things we need, which is the motor mounts, possibly not the transmission mount. I think it will work with the one we have, and then just figure out exactly all this bullshit. Since we went ahead and take all this apart, I'm not exactly what you're gonna know what is the 12 volts, constant 12 volts, supply 12 volts, or whatever it is. So I'm gonna go online and find a diagram, which all you're really gonna use is this side. I think this side. This is for your headlights. This is for your starter, alternator. I think this is for your, what is this for? I'm not exactly sure, but your temp sensor and oil pressure, if I'm not mistaken, is all in there in this little shit. So all this is gonna have to get reloomed, figured out what we're gonna use, what we're not gonna use, and delete the rest. So it took longer than expected, but we got it out. Got the cuñados leaving. We're gonna go ahead and call this a day. Got one truck took apart in one day. This other one took a little bit longer. Like I said, it was a pain in the ass because of the manifolds hitting the mounting bracket, whatever you want to call it. So it was a pain in the ass. we went ahead. I was gonna record, but I mean, I'm trying to get as much done because I know I'm really limited on time, and because I mean I just work and it's gonna be hard as fuck to try to do something right now. So I took advantage of as much time as I could, and I'd rather just explain it to y'all afterwards of what we done. So we went ahead and degreased the whole thing, pressure washed it. Everything seems to be pretty good and clean. We went ahead and took the fuel tanks out. We're going to take one side out to determine exactly what we need and what we can apply it to. Well, since this truck has a dual tank, he's really not going to be able to do the switch at all, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure, but as much as he's going to use this truck, he'll be fine with one tank. We went ahead and took the other one off and took apart the system and pulled it out as far as the old fuel lines, which are these right here. So we went and took those apart, took them out. I'm pretty sure we're not going to use them. That's the rest. That's the little motor or whatever thing, electronic thing that switches from this side to this side. So we're not going to use that at all, I don't think. We're just going to have to put new lines or lines from a different application. Right now we're just at a standstill. He's going to go ahead and I'm going to send him information on what he has to buy to go ahead and get this motor buttoned up and cleaned up and all that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start working on possibly removing the cable and all that and investigate how we're gonna make this actual transmission shift with the linkage it has. But we'll get that figured out. Like I said, I'll do the rest of my good night type shit, investigating, watching videos. Like I said, this is my first LS swap on an actual vehicle like this, and this has to go right because we need it running and driving. The good thing, he took his AC out, so we ain't got to worry about brackets for that, and this shit's in the way. All we're going to do is just block it off, and that's it. Like I said, this truck is just for fun. Never really drives it as much. It's just something he wants to use on the weekend for burnouts, this and that. So AC is the least of his worries. I'm pretty sure he probably wants heat, and all you got to do is connect to those heater core lines. Ya chingastes. So that's it.